Whoosh! Hello everyone, Happy New Year, Happy 2021. Today, I want to talk about a change that's happened in my life recently-ish. And it's not a change in like appearance or like a new hobby or something. It's more of a change in the way that I think. Now, if you were to go back, say 2 years' time, and ask me, Ollie, what do you think of vegans and vegetarians? I would have said that they're pretty extreme. Vegans were especially extreme. They're kind of hippies, like spiritual, free-flowing, kind of feminine, and like overly sensitive people. And if you had told me then, well, you're gonna be vegan one day, I would have been like, no, I'm not. Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Fast forward to today, and I'm now vegan, and I've been vegan for about a year. How did that happen? And weirdly, I'm none of the things that I thought I would be. I'm not any more of a hippie. I'm not any more like sensitive. I'm definitely not spiritual in really any way. But here we are. So it's been quite interesting, and it's something I felt like talking about. Quick disclaimer, I'm not trying to convert you. All I think is that if I didn't understand it, then maybe other people don't really understand it. And maybe I could help one of you understand it a bit better. And it's not very often in your life where you kind of learn something or discover something or something kind of switches or clicks in your brain and you think, why did no one tell me this before? And that's kind of how I feel about veganism. So if you consider yourself to be reasonably open-minded, then I'm going to be asking some open-ended questions just to get you thinking in this video and maybe future videos. Not going to be showing any like graphic footage or anything, so don't worry about that. And if you find interesting and have any thoughts, then feel free to message me. It'd be really cool to have like a little back and forth. I could maybe post some responses to interesting responses I've got. Even if we haven't spoken in ages, feel free to drop me a message. But just to end this video, quick question to think about. There's no right or wrong answer. Why do you think we eat some animals and not other animals? Like, we eat a cow, but would we eat like a tiger? And we eat like a pig, but we don't eat like an elephant. And like in the sea, we'd eat a salmon, but we wouldn't eat a dolphin. Why? Something to think about. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you very much for getting to the end of this video, and I'll see you soon. Whoosh. Hello everyone, welcome back. Another video. Picture the scene. You've come around my flat, and I've made you a sandwich. Stay with me. It's a nice sandwich. Let's say it's like peanut butter or something. Or if you're American, peanut butter and jelly. Or if you don't like peanut butter, your favourite sandwich filling. Give you the sandwich. You're like, oh, this looks good. Start to tuck in. You're enjoying it. And then imagine I tell you, yeah, so I was actually out of bread. So I went down the alleyway next to my flat and I found a couple of pieces of bread on the floor. And they were kind of in some mud. So I just kind of brushed that off. It looked okay. And I used that to make your sandwich. Imagine. Now, apart from obviously being a bit mad at me for serving you like potentially moldy, dirty, gross bread, imagine what would go through your head and what would change in that situation. Because most likely you'd be tucking in, enjoying it, and then as soon as I tell you that, you'd probably start to go, oh, this is actually not enjoying this anymore. And maybe you would choose not to eat it. Even though the taste of the sandwich hasn't actually changed. And before I told you about where the bread came from, you were enjoying it because it tasted good. That's what I just wanted to cover briefly in this video. I used to think that to be vegan, you had to stop liking the taste of animal products, meat products, dairy products. But at least in my situation, I still love the taste of chicken, bacon, sausages, KFC, McDonald's, barbecue ribs, pork chops. Amazing, taste-wise. But similar to the sandwich scenario, there was kind of just over a period of time where it started to click where it had come from. And even though the taste of these products hadn't changed, my kind of overall enjoyment of eating them changed. And similar to the sandwich where you realise it's just come off the ground and you probably go, oh, I don't really want to eat this anymore. That's pretty much what happened with me deciding to go vegan about a year ago. If you have any thoughts about that, if you thought about this before, or if you haven't, let me know. And yeah, just something to think about. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon. Whoosh. Hello everyone, welcome back. Another video. Aren't you lucky? So today I want to talk about mussels. Not these kind of mussels. I'm talking about the mussels that you find in the sea. These kind. So I, as a vegan, eat mussels sometimes, and I don't really have much of an issue with anyone eating mussels. Now you may be thinking, how does that work? They're an animal, they're a living creature. I thought veganism was against eating animals. Well, you're kind of right, and I wouldn't blame you for thinking that, but what I've learned is that although some vegans may think that, and fair enough if they don't want to eat mussels, I kind of base my veganism on the available evidence and the science, and kind of base it on pain, suffering, and consciousness. And as far as we know, mussels don't really have any of that stuff. They don't have a brain, and as far as we know, a brain is kind of required for consciousness. They don't have a nervous system, and as far as we know, a nervous system is required to feel anything like pain and have the ability to experience pain. They're literally just like a glob of matter, living matter, that can vaguely react to external stimulus like open and close, but the same way that like a Venus flytrap can open and close. It's like a very basic level thing. So yeah, I don't really have an issue eating mussels. I mention this because when I had a conversation with my brother, maybe 6 months ago or so, went through the whole veganism thing, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, he's now vegan, which is amazing. But he told me that the mussels thing was actually something that quite surprised him. He, probably like I used to think, thought that vegans were kind of irrational and didn't really have like good reasons as to why they wouldn't eat animals. But then kind of discovering that it's actually based on evidence. It's based on, we can look at these animals and see, do they have a brain? Are they conscious? Do they have the ability to feel pain and suffer? And the animals that do have all that, I think is a good reason to leave them alone. And the animals like mussels who don't have that stuff, it doesn't really matter to me. It's the equivalent of eating a plant. Let me know what you think. Did you know this? Did you know that some vegans don't really mind eating mussels? Did it surprise you? Do you agree, disagree? Let me know your thoughts. As always, my inbox is open and I'll be interested to know what you think. Thank you very, very, very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Whoosh! Vegan sues Burger King for cooking Impossible Whopper on meat grill. Let's talk about that today. Hello everyone, welcome back. I just want to briefly talk about how I've noticed some people talk about veganism as if it's like an allergy. Non-vegans will often maybe be eating around vegans and say things like, oh, you can't have this, you can have that, but you can't have that. I don't really see it like an allergy, and I wouldn't use those kind of words. To me, it's just my choice of what foods I want to eat and what foods I don't want to eat. If one day I woke up and I really felt like a beef burger, then I would have a beef burger. It's not an allergy. And then stories like this really do puzzle me, because this is apparently some vegan guy who didn't like the fact that the Burger King Impossible Whopper, or the Rebel Whopper here in the UK, was cooked on the same grill as the meat burgers. I'm not really sure why that is. If you know why that is, let me know. Because to me, if it's cooked in the same place, even if it has some of the beef particles on that vegan burger, to me it's still vegan. So last thing in this video, I just thought it'd be maybe a good idea to just clarify what veganism is. So I went to the Vegan Society, vegansociety.com, and looked up their definition of the word. I kind of agree with it. Veganism is a philosophy and a way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as is possible and practical, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, anything else. So thinking back to this burger, this Impossible Whopper, that was cooked on the same grill as the beef, as far as I could tell, if I was to buy that burger, I wouldn't be contributing to any animal cruelty or exploitation or suffering. And yeah, that's kind of the end of the story for me. I'd call that a vegan burger, as long as you take out the mayonnaise. So yeah, I'm interested to know your thoughts. Have you heard of these kind of stories popping up? Or have you ever heard people kind of picking holes in vegans' diet and saying, oh, that's not vegan, or that is, you can't have that, you can't have that? Let me know your thoughts. Hope you have a nice day. I'll see you soon. Whoosh. Hello everyone. Welcome back. We're in a lockdown here in the UK, so these videos have been giving me something to do, a bit of kind of purpose. They've been quite fun. Hope you've enjoyed them. Today, I want to talk about the question, what would change my mind? In the context of veganism, why don't we start there? I made a video about mussels before. If I was to find out that mussels do in fact feel pain and they have a brain somewhere in there, then I think that would change my mind about whether I want to eat them or not. Similarly, currently cows are something I would try and avoid eating because they do have a brain and they do, as far as we know, have consciousness, they feel pain, all of that stuff. But let's say new evidence came out and we discovered that that's not actually the case, that maybe they don't, their brain doesn't work like other brains and they're not actually conscious. Maybe their nervous system isn't like other nervous systems and they don't feel pain like we think they do. That could slightly change my mind and my position about whether I want to eat a cow. So why am I thinking about all this? I think it's important to take any beliefs you have. It doesn't have to be about veganism, it can be about anything. Anything that you believe. And really like prod it, you know? And hypothetically think what you would have to discover to change your mind. And if you do all of that and the belief is still standing, then you can kind of have a bit more confidence in that belief being correct or true. And I think if you don't do that, like if you just kind of go through life with your beliefs and never really challenge them, never really think about what could change your mind, then maybe they're at higher risk of not being true. Let me know what you think. Do you have any thoughts on this? Have you ever thought about what would change your mind about eating animals or another belief you might have? Let me know. As always, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great day and I'll see you soon. Whoosh. Hello everyone. Hope you're having a nice day. Over the next 4 videos, I want to talk about the 4 N's of why, generally, most people think it's okay to kill any animals. Common arguments, and they can be categorized into 4 N's. Today, the first of the 4. It's natural. We have canine teeth, and canine teeth are for eating meat. Let's have a think. Are canines for eating animals? If we look at the gorilla, bing, big canines, bigger than ours. What do gorillas eat? Mainly plants and some insects. What about even bigger canines? What about 16-inch canines from the hippopotamus, biggest canines of any land animal? What do hippos eat? Plants. Okay. But hey, we are natural omnivores. That's true. But what kind of omnivores are we? If you look at our canines that we've got, they're kind of small. They're not very sharp. We don't have sharp claws. if I tried to kill an animal with my bare hands, probably struggle. It would probably be quite embarrassing. But let's say I did. So I've got this, it says like a fox or something. Dead fox in front of me. Blood on my hands. Would I think like a natural omnivore would? And think, tasty. Time for dinner. But hey, it's just the food chain. It's the circle of life. You know, in the wild, lions kill and eat zebras. Lions do a lot of things. Did you know that male lions will sometimes kill female lions just because they refuse to mate with them? Male lions also kill baby lions, cubs, when they take over a new territory. Imagine we're in a courtroom scenario, and the judge says, Oliver Suri, you've been found guilty of killing your neighbour's baby. You're therefore sentenced to... And I go, whoa, hold up, judge, wait a second. Lions do this all the time. And so, when we're thinking about this first N, natural, it may be natural for us to kill and eat animals, but does it mean we have to? And just because it's natural, does it make it moral? That is my question to you. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for the other 3. Maybe you could play bingo. See how many of the things you've said before. I said a lot of this stuff before. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing anyone. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Whoosh. Hello everyone. This is the second of the 4 ends of why we think it's okay to kill and eat animals. It's normal. Everybody does it. Everybody eats meat. Everybody eats animal products. That's true. In the UK, vegans make up about 1% of the population, so that leaves 99% of people eating meat, eating cheese, milk, animal products. Is it possible for 99% of people to be mistaken about something? Also, we've been killing and eating animals for thousands of years. It's very true. Apparently humans started hunting about 1.7 million years ago. Long time ago. But can you think of any other examples of things that we've done for a long time? Things that were normal, and then eventually we changed our mind. We stopped doing them because we realized it was bad. Like back in the day, we would meet up with our mates down at the local Coliseum and pay money for a ticket, sit down and watch men kill each other. That was a fun day out. It was gruesome, it was gory, and now, you know, we look back on that and we think that's horrific. But it was normal at the time. Let me know if you think of any other examples like this of things that were normal but we now deem to be wrong. So it may be normal to kill and eat animals. I think that's why I never really thought about it before. I never really questioned it, because generally we don't question what's normal. I want to know your thoughts about this. Just quite a quick one today. The second N is normal. I want you to think about, if it's normal, does that make it moral? Like if it's normal, if everyone's doing it, does that make it okay just because everyone's doing it? Have a think. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for the other 2. Check out the first one if you missed that one. And I'll see you very soon. Have a great day. Whoosh. Hello everyone, hope you're well. This is the 3rd of the 4 ends of why we think it's okay to kill and eat animals. It is necessary. We need to kill and eat animals to survive and be healthy. Let's have a look at the science, shall we? Now firstly, nutritional science, to me, is still very much a work in progress area of science. There's lots of like conflicting studies and it's all a bit vague. So take nutritional studies with a pinch of salt. But let's go on what we do know roughly so far. First, have a look at the NHS website. In the UK, it's the National Health Service. They say with good planning and an understanding of what makes up a healthy, balanced vegan diet, you can get all the nutrients your body needs. Simple. There's also the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is a big American organization made up of lots of professionals. It's not a vegan organization or anything, it's not biased. And they say appropriately planned vegan diets are appropriate for all stages of the life cycle, including pregnancy, lactation, infancy, childhood, adolescence, older adulthood, and for athletes. But we need meat for protein. I recommend, if you are unsure about this, have a quick Google of vegan protein sources. You can find all the information on there. And that kind of goes for everything I'm saying. Don't just believe me just because I'm saying it. Do your own research, have a quick Google. Google is your friend. And yeah, that's the third N of why we think it's okay to kill the animals. Number 3 is necessary. And I want to know from you, if you think today, in 2021, do you think it's necessary for us to kill any animals? Let me know in the comments below or send me a message. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Whoosh. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the last of the 4 N's of why we think it's okay to kill any animals. Number 4. It's nice. Meat tastes nice. Cheese tastes nice. Eggs taste nice. This is the big one. This is the one that I hung on to for as long as I could. Because even though I'd learnt about the factory farms and the horrible conditions and the animal agricultural industry and what goes into putting this food on our plates, I just didn't want to stop eating it because it tasted too nice. Vegan food is boring. It's bland, and vegans just eat salad all day. I don't eat salad all day. Let me tell you some of the stuff I eat. I eat spaghetti bolognese, curry, sausages, burgers, pizza, obviously fruit and veg, roasted veg, chocolate, biscuits, cakes, chicken dippers, fish fingers. It's almost like every time I go to the shop, there's like a new product that's come out and in the vegan section. So it's actually been really exciting. You just go along and it's like, oh, so-and-so's just brought out these southern fried chicken style strips. Try those tonight. Or Sainsbury's do no pork belly, which is pretty cool. So it's actually been the opposite of boring. So just to end, thinking about taste, here's a scenario. You're in the shops. You want to buy some sausages. And in front of you, you have 2 types. The normal type, which, if you didn't know, comes from a pig. A pig has to be killed to make that sausage. And then you've got some vegan sausages next to it. Let's say on the taste scale, the normal ones are 100%. I want to know from you, what percentage on the taste scale would the vegan sausages have to be for you to choose them over the real thing? And when you think about the fact that one requires an animal to be killed and the other doesn't, I want to know how much of a factor that is when it comes to taste for you. So let me know in the comments below or send me a message. And that is it. That has been the 4 N's of why we think it's okay to kill any animals. Thank you so much if you've watched all 4 of these, and I really appreciate all the feedback I've got so far. All of the nice, it's nice obviously when you hear that someone's actually thought about stuff as a result of these videos that I'm making. That's obviously why I'm doing them. I think I said in one of my earlier videos that this has obviously been a recent big-ish change in my life, and it's the kind of thing that I wish I had done sooner, and I wish someone had made me think about it sooner. So I thought it might be about time for me to just make some videos, just in case there's anyone out there in my position about a year and a half ago of wishing that someone had told me this sooner. Thanks so much for watching. Any questions, any feedback, let me know. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Whoosh. Hello, you. So I was watching my last video back. It was the 4th of the 4 N's. Nice. And I was a bit annoyed because I realised I didn't really make any points in the video. I just kind of said that it was my main reason for eating animal products for so long. This is the one that I hung on to for as long as I could. And then I just kind of told you what I ate and flashed up a bunch of emojis
burgers, pizza, obviously fruit and veg, roasted veg, chocolate, biscuits, cakes.
So this is a quick follow-up to say what I wanted to say in that video. So taste is one of our senses, right? And so when we use the fourth N, which is not saying that meat and animal products taste nice, we're saying that we get what we could call sensory pleasure from eating these things, and therefore it's okay to kill and eat animals. Now, I thought this for 26 years, or maybe not 26. I probably wasn't thinking about this when I was a kid. Maybe when I was like a teenager, that's when I kind of made the link between what was on my plate and the animal it came from. So let's say like 13 years. I thought this argument, this justification was perfectly reasonable. You know, I get sensory pleasure, therefore, you know, let's kill and eat the animals. Now, to see if this is a good argument or a good justification, let's put it in a different example. Let's maybe swap out the sense for a different sense, let's say hearing rather than taste. Let's swap out the animal for, instead of a pig, cow or chicken, let's say a squirrel. Now, let's say I said that I love kicking squirrels because I love the sound they make. I love the little squeak, the little squeal they make as they go flying in the air. You'd probably think I was a bit of a monster. You'd say, I don't care if you love the sound they make. Just stop kicking the squirrels. They haven't done anything wrong. They haven't done anything to you. Just leave them alone, yeah? And yet, rewind about a year and a half, 2019, Ollie. If you had said to me, hey, Ollie, why don't you stop paying for these animals to be killed? You know, they haven't done anything to you. They haven't done nothing wrong. How about you just leave them alone? I probably would have said. The thing is, I really like the taste of their flesh. I really encourage you to have a think about this, have a proper think, give it some thought. If you have any feedback or thoughts, if you agree or if you disagree, feel free to let me know. We could chat about it. I'm always open to talking. I like to think I'm open-minded, and I could definitely be wrong about all of this. So let me know your thoughts. And thank you very much for watching. Enjoy Valentine's Day. Stay inside, wear a mask, and I'll see you soon. Whoosh! You're already a bit vegan. Let me explain what I mean. So when I went vegan about a year ago, I was surprised to find out that it didn't feel like it was anything brand new. Like it wasn't like a huge revolutionary change in the way I thought. The values didn't seem that new. It was more like I was just reconnecting with the values that I already had. Now, if you had like some sort of vegan meter or Veganuary and pointed at me like 10 years ago, I probably would have said, oh, don't worry about that. It would come up 0%. But I don't think it would have been 0. I think it would have been more like, I don't know, 25, 50% vegan. Because when we look at what veganism is, it's basically being against animal cruelty and exploitation. And for most of my life, I was against elephants and tigers being used in circuses where they probably weren't treated very well and they were just there for our entertainment. I would never really want to wear real fur. When I saw pictures of people wearing real fur, I didn't just see a jacket or a hat. I saw part of an animal, a dead animal. I used to always love watching nature programs and learning about all the animals in the animal kingdom. Places like Africa got some amazing animals, and then they'd mention like poachers and hunters that would kill elephants to get their tusks. That was really upsetting, and used to think those people were horrible, horrible people. I grew up when fox hunting was still fully legal. Never a big fan of that. Imagining poor little fox like running away for its life, being chased by a huge group of angry dogs and men on horses just for fun, just as a sport. I was never a big fan of hunting in general. Like, we've all seen the film Bambi. We know what happens in that. In the film Bambi, we are the enemy. Like, man is the villain in the story. We used to have a dog in the family, and I would never dream of eating dog. Even though some places in the world they do that, I thought that was horrific that they would even think about eating dog meat. You'd hear stories on the news of people like abusing their dog or their cat or random dogs or cats on the street, and that really made me question whether they were even human to be able to do something horrible like that. And so for as long as I can remember, all these things just seemed so unnecessary to me. And I was really against animal cruelty and exploitation. Except if the animal was a pig, or a cow, or a chicken, or a sheep, or a fish. So when I think now about the number of animals that I included in my values, probably talking like 99% of the different species of animal on the planet. So going vegan was kind of just like putting a tick next to those last few animals on the list. And probably because, as we talked about, eating meat is natural, normal. I used to think it might have been necessary, and because it tastes nice, I just never thought about the fact that my actions weren't really in line with my values. I was against animal cruelty and exploitation, but I was paying for animal cruelty and exploitation. Ultimately, I was a hypocrite. And when I started to realise that, that's when I started to make some changes in my life. Let me know what you think. As always, hope you've enjoyed this little video. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Whoosh! Hello everyone. Time for a little recap of the last 11 videos I've made. Here they are. Stick around to the end to unlock that golden bonus level at the bottom. So first was a video called Recent Changes. I told you that I was vegan. I've been vegan for about a year. I was kind of nervous to make that video, not gonna lie, because vegans can sometimes get hate online, but you were really nice about it, so thank you for that. If you watched that, you would have earned yourself 1 star. Congrats. Next, I talked about taste and how I still like the taste of meat, even though I'm vegan. If you watched that, you would have earned another star. Then I talked about mussels, not these ones, the ones you find in the sea. If you watched that, boom, another star. Number 4 was about allergies, and you guessed it, if you watched that video, you would have earned yourself another star. Number 5 was a big one. I talked about being open-minded and thinking about what would change your mind. Really important, I think, just in life, and especially in this topic. And so if you watched that, well done, you would have earned yourself a whopping 3 stars. Now those were kind of my intro videos. I didn't want to jump into anything too bold, too quick. The real juicy stuff started when I talked about the 4 N's of why we eat meat and animal products. The first N was natural. I talked about gorillas, hippos, and lions. If you watched that, you would have earned yourself 2 stars. The second N was normal, and that's why for about 25, 26 years, I never thought about this stuff because it's just normal to eat meat and animal products. If you watched that, that would have earned you another 2 stars. The third N was necessary. Is it necessary to eat meat and animal products in order to be healthy? That would have been worth another 2 stars. And the final N, the big one, the one that I held on to for as long as I could, was nice. And if you watched that, you would have earned yourself another 2 stars. Then I made a video about sensory pleasure because my video about nice wasn't very good and I still had other stuff I wanted to say. I think that was a really good one, quite an important one. If you watched that, that would have been worth a whopping 3 stars. And finally, I said, you're already a bit vegan. Sounds crazy, I know. Go and give it a watch if you want to see what I meant. That was worth 2 stars. Now, if you've watched all of those, firstly, a massive thank you. Give yourself a big old pat on the back because you might have felt uncomfortable watching some of these, but you pushed through, and I'm very grateful for that. And the reason I've kind of set up this whole thing with the levels and the stars is because I really do want to talk about the more serious side of veganism, but I've found in my experience that if, with some people, myself included, I used to be like this, if you go kind of too hard too soon, they sometimes get put off. So if you've watched all of these 11 videos, or most of them, then let's do it. Let's unlock that bonus level. Something that I never knew is that in the UK, 86% of the pigs that we kill to eat are killed in gas chambers. Yeah. And it's not the kind of they fall asleep peacefully. It's pretty much the opposite of that. And I never knew this. When I found out about this, I was pretty shocked. And I started to think, well, if I didn't know that, maybe there's some other stuff that I don't know is going on. And even though I was a bit scared of what I might find out, ultimately, I just wanted to know the truth. Now, you might be in a similar position. So if you want to learn more about the animal agricultural industry, then I highly recommend you go to YouTube, you put in Land of Hope and Glory doc, like documentary, and there you'll find a 48-minute documentary that covers the kind of main land animals that we kill and eat in the UK, and basically just shows where the vast majority of our food comes from. Now, I should warn you, this documentary does contain graphic footage. I wouldn't watch it while you're eating. It is quite upsetting. Everyone that I know that has watched it has said it was quite upsetting, but the main takeaway is that they all were very glad that they watched it. I don't know anyone that regrets watching it, and myself included. I got upset watching it, but I really value the truth, and there came a time when I just wanted to know this side of the story, and rather than reading about it or listening to it, sometimes it's the best way to do it is just to see it. And thankfully this documentary kind of just shows you everything, and you should come away with a better understanding of where your food comes from. That's pretty much it. Please don't be shy to reach out to me if you do watch it. I would be interested to know what you thought. Thanks so much for watching. It's a bit of a longer one, this one. I really appreciate you getting to the end. See you soon.